Now on the search results, it's going to show the picture, the basic details about it. On your little eye here for information, that'll drop down a box with the marketing remarks and the listing number. Then we have full details. Will take you to the detail page. Where you've got all the photos. So we got all of your photos here. The little walk score map. If you're not familiar with walk score, it shows things like stores and restaurants, grocery stores, libraries, schools in the area, and it'll rank it based on how easy it is to walk to places. But it's really nice just to see what services are in the area around this listing. What sort of restaurants and things like that. So it's also good just information about the area for your clients. Because they can actually see where, like here, it shows where the bank ATMs are. It shows here's a library. So shows where everything is, all different icons, clothing stores, grocery stores, all sorts of stuff like that, all on the map. It'll tell you, show the distance, and then the score part of it is just, it ranks how much, how many different necessary services or conveniences are within walking distance. Then of course we have a slideshow where it'll just automatically go through all the photos. If you put the comments in on the listing photos, it'll display that down below here. So not a lot of websites still have will actually display the listing or the photo comments. But on NW Champions, it'll show them there. It also shows them on the photo page. We got a little box here that shows them. And then, of course, we got the contact button if they want information about a listing. If it's just another office's listing, that just goes to the office to go to floor time agents. But if someone clicks on your listing and then clicks contact, that will send an email straight to you. So if you ever get any, if you ever get an email saying from NW Champions, no actual person's name, that's going to be something from the website. Somebody either contacting you from your agent page or from one of your listings. Now, a couple of other things. You asked earlier about the emails and stuff. There's several different ways of saving things. Let me go back to the results here. You notice on every listing, on the results, and then on the detail page, we have a little heart here with a plus sign, which is kind of the standard icon for favorite. So if I click that, boom, it turns red. This listing is saved. I can shut off my computer, come back tomorrow, and it's going to have that listing saved still. Didn't have to create an account, didn't have to do anything. So that's a lot, especially for the casual surfer, maybe not really serious about buying a house yet, just kind of checking out the market. That makes it really convenient for them and encourages them to continue using our website because they don't have to give up any information yet. And a lot of people, especially nowadays with all that websites being hacked and personal information stolen, people don't want to give out their personal information unless they have to. Now if I go up here, it says one listing in basket now. I click on that. This kind of works like a shopping cart if you're buying something on Amazon. It'll show your listings in there, and then you can click here to view the detail page or delete to remove it. Also, just clicking the heart again will remove that from the basket. Now, if they want to actually receive emails and stuff, of course, we need their email address, so they have to create an account. So you click create free account. It's going to ask for a name, so I'll put in my name. And let me pick one I don't have an account under yet. Email address, and then a password. And then you'll notice we have, I would like to receive periodic emails. This just automatically adds it to the contact list, for, future, prospects. And then you hit sign up. And it'll sign them up, automatically log them in. It says I'm logged in as Chris Malabon at Comcast.net. And now I can, when I save a listing, still works exactly the same, except now that I have an account, it's permanently saved, until that listing goes off the market completely. Without an account, it will only hold it for 2 weeks after their last login. The reason for that is, it's just putting a cookie on the computer that says I saved this listing. Cookies get deleted, they expire after a certain amount of time. So with cookies, there's no guaranteed permanent way to save anything. With an account, that's saving that information on our server saying this user saved this listing, and it's there for good. They can, if the listing's on the market for a year and they come back in a year, it's still going to be there. Also, because they have an account and we have their email address, if they save a listing and an open house comes up, it will send them an email saying there's an open house this weekend for this listing that you saved. And to my knowledge, none of the websites I've seen do that as well. That's another unique feature we have. Basically all of them will do the search result email, but not emails for open houses. A lot of them until recently didn't even like John Scott and Windermere did not show open houses until I think it was last summer or fall. I think they started adding them. So, and a quick note, since I always mention this when I talk about open houses, if you're doing an open house, make sure you add it to the MLS at least 2 days beforehand. The feed for the open houses works a little bit differently. The home search itself updates every hour. The open houses is a different type of feed, and it only updates once a day at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And so basically from the time that you post that open house, at a minimum it's going to probably take 24 hours before it shows up on any public website. So if you post it the day before the open house, it's not going to show up to the public until you're actually doing the open house, and by the time they find it, it's probably too late. So you want to do it at least 2 days beforehand. Do it like, I recommend doing it like on Thursday, just to make sure that it's on the public sites, our website, all the other company websites, at least a day or two before it actually happens, so people can actually find out about it. Now, then once you've created an account, let me go back to one of the searches here. Now that I have an account, I can also save a search. So I'll give it a name here. I'll just call it class search. And then they have the option of whether or not they want to receive email updates. So I'll hit yes, save search. Close box. And now that search, if I go up to my searches, I have that search. If I click the link here, it'll rerun the search, with the newest listings, and every day it's going to email me any new listings that match that search. Another unique feature, and one of the newest features that I added is a button called Find Similar. This will be on the listing detail pages. And this is kind of like, a quick kind of CMA type thing where if I click on this, it's going to take us back to the search page, and it's searching for houses that are, reasonably similar to that one I was just looking at. So it's going to do, close to the same price, same number of bedrooms, same square footage, and in the same map area. So all of these, that house, is a $500,000 house in Bellevue. So I click on that, and now I have a search. It's houses between $450,000 and $550,000 dollars. Residential will be obviously the same property type. And in downtown Bellevue area. And if we go down here, we'll see, all these pictures. If I go back here, here's the house. This one's a little unique. It's got a bridge going to the front door, but besides that, it has 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. All of these houses down here, pretty comparable houses, all in the same price range. So, especially for people who aren't real familiar with using a home search, that's a great way for them to find things they might be interested in, because they can find one house they like that's in the right price range, in the right area, and then they click find similar, and it'll pull up every house in that area that's similar to what they were looking at. And in this case, usually it seems to find about 10, 15 listings. If they're in a highly populated area like Bellevue or Seattle, it's going to pull up like 30 or 40 usually. And if I hit view results, here's all the houses that it found in that price range, all in that area. So it's a quick, easy way to kind of narrow down exactly what they're looking for. So I think that about covers it. One other quick thing I forgot to show you, since I showed this before, last time we went through this. On listings, there's a share on here. There's share, but it also includes Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So your clients can use this to share. Especially if you have a seller, they can show their listing to their friends. Usually when someone puts their house for sale, they want to email that listing out to, once it's on the website, they'll email it to all their family saying, hey, here's our house for sale. This is what the pictures look like. Well, from here, they can send an email, or they can post it on their Facebook account, their Twitter account. Twitter, since it's only 140 characters, it's just a very brief description and a link. And then LinkedIn, same thing, it'll pull the full description.